Imagine this. A pair of underwear made out of fake hair. Yes, hair. Kim Kardashian announces it, posts a few sultry photos. The internet erupts. Media headlines scream, "Sold out in 24 hours." A product no one asked for, yet somehow everyone is talking about. But here is the catch. No one has actually seen it. No influencer review, no customer unboxing, nothing. It is as if this mysterious hairy underwear evaporated into thin air the moment it sold out. This is not just another Kardashian stunt. This is a mirror held up to our culture. A culture where scarcity is designed, not discovered. Where products do not need to exist. They only need to trend. So today, we are going to peel back the layers of the Skims Faux hair story, because behind the glitter and the gossip lies something darker and funnier. This is not just about Kim. This is about all of us living in a marketplace of illusions. Let us start with the woman who built the empire of desire, Kim Kardashian herself. Part 1. The Glow of Kim, How a Symbol Was Born. Once upon a time, in the golden age of reality television, a scandal became a business plan. Kim Kardashian turned what should have been a 15-minute headline into a billion-dollar empire. She built an identity out of visibility. Every outfit, every contour, every whisper of drama became currency. While others tried to sell products, Kim sold the idea of being desired. That is the real genius of her empire. From keeping up with the Kardashians to the global rise of Skims, Kim learned the oldest trick in modern fame. If you control the image, you control the narrative. And if you control the narrative, you control the market. Skims was not just about shapewear, it was a lifestyle. It promised that comfort could be luxury, that self-acceptance could be sexy. It wrapped feminism in stretchy nylon and told women, you can own your body as long as it looks like mine. It worked. Skims became a juggernaut, praised for inclusivity and clever marketing, but there was always an undertone of theater in it all. Every launch felt like a staged miracle. Every product drop, a moment of worship in the church of Kardashianism. Kim mastered the performance of authenticity. The public applauded, believing she had redefined empowerment. But beneath the gloss, a simple truth remained. Kim Kardashian was not redefining power. She was redefining illusion. And from that illusion came her strangest creation yet, underwear made of faux hair. Because when you have sold everything else, beauty, scandal, and self-confidence, the only thing left to sell is absurdity itself. Part 2. The absurd product, when nonsense becomes strategy. Let us talk about the underwear that broke the internet. Kim Kardashian's Skims Faux hair underwear, the product that supposedly sold out in 24 hours. But here's the twist. Nobody ever saw it. Nobody ever bought it. It was the ghost of a product, a viral idea dressed up as a physical thing. The story goes like this. Kim drops a few photos of herself in a strange, fuzzy-looking pair of underwear. No official reviews, no unboxings, no customer photos. Yet somehow the item is sold out worldwide. That should have been the first clue. This was not about selling underwear. It was about selling the fantasy of exclusivity. Scarcity marketing in its purest form. Create something that barely exists, announce that it's gone, and let the internet do the rest. It's the same trick used by luxury brands and celebrity entrepreneurs alike. Make the audience believe they missed out on something magical, then watch them beg for the next illusion. Marina, from the nerve, tried to buy the product herself. She could not. It was gone within hours. So she did what any self-respecting satirist would do. She made her own. A wig, some tape, and a lot of bad decisions later, she recreated Kim's masterpiece. The result was perfect because it looked exactly like the real thing. Ridiculous. And that was the point. Marina had exposed the absurdity hiding beneath the Skims empire. Her parody suggested something that few dared to say out loud. Maybe the product never existed in any meaningful way. Maybe it was a prop in a much bigger performance. The sold-out headline became a symbol of modern marketing. It didn't matter whether the product worked or even existed. All that mattered was that people talked about it. Publicity as product, attention as currency. Kim's genius, or cynicism, depending on how you see it, lies in this simple equation. If you can make the world laugh, gasp, or argue, you win. Because in the economy of fame, outrage sells faster than truth. But while Kim was busy selling illusion, someone else was busy tearing it down with a wig and a sense of humor. Part 3. Outrage, Humor, and Rebellion. How the nerve turned satire into truth. While the internet was still trying to understand why anyone would need underwear made of fake hair, a small show called The Nerve decided to take things further. They did not review the product, they exposed it. Their host, Marina, showed up dressed as the Skims Reaper, a parody of Kim Kardashian's empire itself. She admitted she could not buy the product. It was sold out before she could even click Add to Cart. So she built her own version, at home, with a wig, some tape, and a dangerous amount of confidence. And here is where it got interesting. By recreating the product with cheap materials, Marina proved the absurdity of the entire thing. If a fake luxury product can be made at home in 10 minutes, what exactly are we buying? Her experiment became a small act of rebellion, a protest against the way celebrity culture convinces us to pay for nonsense wrapped in expensive branding. Through humor, she turned satire into truth. The Nerve did not just make fun of Kim Kardashian, they made fun of all of us, the audience that fuels this circus. We say we hate the Kardashians, but we watch every clip. We call it ridiculous, then share it anyway. That is the trap of the fame machine. We become participants in the very illusion we claim to mock. Marina's parody went viral because it hit a nerve, literally. She stood there holding her handmade Skims Faux hair and laughed. But behind that laughter was something sharp. A message that said, "This is what we have become. A culture so obsessed with the image of exclusivity that we will worship even the fake version of fake." It was performance art disguised as comedy. It revealed that the only thing more powerful than marketing is mockery, because laughter has a strange way of making the truth visible. And that truth runs deeper than one ridiculous pair of underwear. It says something about who we are and what we are willing to believe. Part 4. A mirror to society. We all buy the illusion. At this point, it would be easy to laugh at Kim Kardashian and move on, to say she fooled the world with a hairy pair of underwear and be done with it. But that would miss the real story.
because the joke is not just on Kim, the joke is on us. We live in an economy built on attention. Every click, every share, every eye roll counts. Kim Kardashian has simply mastered the system that we all participate in. She understands that outrage is a form of engagement and that disbelief spreads faster than truth. When we mock her, we market her. When we question her, we amplify her. Every sarcastic tweet, every reaction video, every meme becomes free advertising. That is the brilliance and the tragedy of modern celebrity culture. In a way, the Skims Faux hair product is the perfect metaphor for our times. It is something that looks real, but is entirely artificial. A product that exists only because we want it to exist. And that, if we are honest, describes most of what we consume online. We do not buy because we need. We buy because we want to feel included. We want to believe we are part of the conversation, even when the conversation is nonsense. Think about it. How many things have you purchased just because they went viral? How many trends have you joined just to avoid missing out? That is the same instinct Kim and her marketing team tap into. The fear of being left behind, the fear of being ordinary. But here's the twist. In mocking her, we reveal our own reflection. We too curate, filter, and edit our lives for display. We too perform authenticity, hoping someone will like it. The difference between us and Kim Kardashian is not moral, it is scale. She sells illusions to millions. We sell them to a few hundred followers. Different platforms, same performance. So when the Nerve held up that homemade version of Kim's fake underwear, it was more than a joke. It was a mirror, a reminder that, in the end, we are all complicit in this culture of simulation. We laugh because it feels safe, but deep down, we know the laugh is nervous. It's the sound we make when we recognize ourselves in the absurdity. And maybe that recognition, uncomfortable, awkward, but honest, is the first step back towards something real.
Part 5. Conclusion. The death of truth and the survival of humor. So, what have we learned from a pair of fake hair underwear? That in the modern marketplace, the line between real and ridiculous no longer exists. That Kim Kardashian does not have to sell products. She sells participation in the spectacle. And we keep buying it one click at a time. But here is the paradox. Even as truth collapses under the weight of marketing, humor somehow survives. Satire becomes the last safe space for honesty. It is the only way left to talk about the absurd without losing our minds. The Nerve understood that perfectly. By turning the Skims Reaper into a joke, they also turned it into a diagnosis. Their laughter said what headlines could not. The emperor has no clothes, but plenty of publicists. Humor cuts through what outrage cannot. It lets us see clearly without preaching. It reminds us that sometimes the most powerful act of resistance is simply to laugh and keep thinking. Kim Kardashian's fake hair underwear might be forgotten in a few weeks, but the culture that created it will remain. A culture built on illusion, performance, and endless desire for validation. And maybe the best we can do is to stay awake inside it, to recognize the absurdity, to laugh at it, and then question why it exists. Because when everything is fake, humor becomes the closest thing we have to truth. It does not fix the world, but it keeps us sane enough to face it. So yes, the Skims Reaper killed the product, but she also resurrected something more valuable: our ability to laugh, to question, and to see. Maybe that is the real luxury now. Not the illusion we can buy, but the clarity we can still keep.